if you want to invest into Pokemon, don't start by buying overhyped or even hyped sets if you have a small budget at least. And even if you have a higher one, you might rethink that, because I have some interesting stuff to tell you today. And with that, what's up, Poke fans? Poke Eyes here. Finally got the internet back so I can finally make videos again, but we have a new camera perspective today because my webcam settings are just horrendous at the moment and I don't know how to fix it, so this will do it as well. It actually looks quite better than my webcam. Tell me in the comments what you think about it. It's kind of annoying to set up, but oh well, you gotta work with what you have. So let's start. First of all, I want to say this is no financial advice. I am no big shot investor, but I'm consuming Pokemon investing content every day. I love watching alpha investments, and I basically want to share all the knowledge I gathered from all the videos with my own sprinkle of salt to it as well. Give you guys a good overview, especially for people who just started investing into Pokemon, so you get some guidance, you know? And if someone is watching this video who is thinking about investing into Pokemon, brother, just go for it. It is absolutely crazy. The graphs are not lying. Pokemon is literally better to invest in than in stocks. It is at least safer, because if you do it just a little bit smart and you don't mess up big time somehow, you will definitely make a lot of money. Or in the worst case, that's why I said be smart about it, you won't even lose your money. But it is very rare that if you buy some Pokemon product and you stash it for 5 years and you sell it after and you make no profit, that is very rare. That don't happen. The only thing that will be probably hard is keeping it that long and not get seduced by all the profits you will make and sell it too early. I'm also talking about real investing right here, not just flipping, buying something and hoping in 6 months it will go up. No, I'm talking about stuff you will buy and you will throw it in your closet, you will throw it in your basement, wherever you throw it, but you will keep it there for like 2 to 5 years, but probably about 3 to 5 years, because that is when the gains will really show. And that is also why I am not a fan with investing in hyped sets which went already up in price, when you have other sets which are secret hidden rare gems, let me put it like that, which only still cost like 60, 70 euros, dollars, whatever per ETB. For example, Ascended Heroes, great set, will be a great investment. Definitely, this is a really awesome set. I think people will still rip it in 10 years if there is enough supply for it, of course. But it is 200 euros and $200. I'm just gonna say euro for this video. You guys have to, if we have some American folks watching, you just have to look at the changing course. Very sorry. Okay, we have Ascended Heroes ETP, which is about, it was 200 at least. Now, while I'm making this video, it's about 180 in Europe is the price for it, and that is very expensive. But it is still, with that expensive of a price, there are a lot of people who open this every day, who buy this every day, and it sure will be a great investment. But the thing is, it is relatively new as well. So it just came out not too long ago, which is also a thing. If you want to do investments, you probably want to do it with stuff which is not in print anymore, where you don't have to be feared about like that the price will completely crash because they announce announce 5 new printing waves or something like that, which is very unlikely, but stuff like that can happen. So that's why I was saying you have to be smart about it and have things like that in the background of your head. I also don't want to say that you should wait for buying Ascended Heroes because it will probably crash, because I'm thinking it will crash, because there will be a time in like maybe 1 or 2 years where we have a lot of newer sets, maybe better sets, and we kind of forget about Ascended Heroes, so the demand will be lower and people will start panicking and will start selling it. But this is just a theory, so let's just pretend it will not go below 200 euros and it will stay on those 200 euros forever, which is possible. It is a very good set, and if it keeps going like that, because it is 200 euros and it is still in print, and there are large amounts of printing of Ascended Heroes, but the price is not really going down like crazy, so that is technically very good. So let's say you have 5,000 euros and you want to invest in Pokemon. What do you buy? Do you buy 25 ETBs of Ascended Hero for the price of 200 euro with those 5,000 euro? Technically, it is a good invest, and if you really lock it up in your closet, if you really lock it up there for 5 years, it doesn't really matter if you bought it for 200 or if you bought it for 100, because you're just letting it sit there and waiting for it to go up to like 500 euros, which is definitely possible. I think 5 years from now, 500 euro ETB Ascended Heroes could be possible, but that is just a very long investment and you will have no space to play because you just gotta wait until the investment goes up, and it's only 25 pieces for 5,000 euro. Don't get me wrong, if it goes to 500 and you make, let's say, 300 to 400 profit a box, that is still really good. But there's just something else you can also do, which is invest in older sets which are out of print and which are still on the, let's say, basic market price. And this is the principle which I know from Rudy from Alpha Investments, the multi-billion-dollar card collector, and he said it in his video that we should not focus on the things which everybody is already focused on. Instead, we should focus on the things where nobody is really looking, like find a hidden gem, a hidden diamond is basically what he means with that. So if everybody is buying Ascended Heroes and the price just skyrockets, and is already very high, and you might even have a chance of losing money if something really bad happens to Ascended Heroes. We don't know. It will probably not, but we don't know. Something can happen. That's why I'm saying you should build a position in other sets where not everybody is looking for it. For example, the best would be like out of print sets, but I think Chaos Rising and stuff like Perfect Order and Pitch Black, which are not the greatest sets. They are not the craziest sets, to be honest, but in my opinion, they will go up in the future. So basically, when everybody's looking for Ascended Heroes or stuff like Prismatic Evolution, and everybody wants to buy those as expensive, hyped sets to make an investment, you should take a look at low price sets, older generations, preferably out of print, but they don't have to be out of print, of course, because stuff like Chaos Rising or Perfect Order. Okay, I don't want to say Perfect Order because, in my opinion, it's not a bad set, but 90% of the people think it's bad. But let's just say Chaos Rising. In my opinion, Chaos Rising is very underhyped for what it actually is. I think it has very beautiful cards. It has an amazing catch card. The Greninja is the goated Pokemon. For the enemy watchers out there, it was even more hyped than Charizard for a time in the anime, and then they had to basically nerf him and put him out because it was just getting too much. So in my opinion, sets like these, because the market price is just above MSRP, so it's something you can't really go wrong with. But as I said, there could be some giga print waves, so they print the shit out of Chaos Rising, and then even then it wouldn't be a bad investment, but it will just take longer until it really rises in price because there will be just a lot of it. So I'm talking about other sets which are out of print. For example, I think the latest to go out of print by making this video was Paradox Rift, if I'm correct. And shortly after it went out of print, you could already see the prices were rising a little. Like Paradox Rift was being at 200 for like 36 pack, the booster box, I think 200 euros, which is absolutely normal market price for a not so liked Pokemon set. And it already went up to like 240 after a few weeks when it went out of print. So that's what I'm talking about, because when it goes out of print, you can be sure that there will be no new waves of it coming and dragging the price of it down, because if it goes out of print, there's only that left which is in the world when it goes out of print, obviously. But you get what I'm saying. That doesn't mean that the set will automatically rise to the moon just because it's out of print, because especially if it's a set which was not demanded like crazy, and that's why the price in the first place wasn't crazy, there will be a lot of it still going around the globe, sitting in people's basements and sitting somewhere in stores or whatever. But in 4 to 5 years, that will come to an end, trust me, and then it will start going crazy. It is with every Pokemon set the same. Like, people are saying Pokemon is a bubble, they are speculating, oh, it will crash, oh, and this and that, but no, it will not crash. Trading cards are a universal thing. Everybody in the world, everywhere in the world, there are people collecting trading cards, and this is not a bubble. This is not a bubble. Trading cards will always be a thing, and rarities will also be a thing. So the less of something there is in the world, the more expensive it will get. And even if it's the shittiest set of all time, I can guarantee you Perfect Order If you pull out perfect order in 10 years, I don't want to make wild speculations, but I'm telling you, in 10 years perfect order will at least have doubled in price. And that is the thing, that is the only thing. If you have the patience to buy stuff like this, if you have the capital freedom to buy stuff like this, to really make something out of it. And that's why I'm saying you should buy the low cost sets, which nobody really has an eye on, because they are less expensive and they will probably turn out the same in some years as a Ascended Heroes, for example. So let me give you an example. You took the 5,000 euros and you bought Ascended Hero ETBs 25 for 200 euros a piece, and you stashed them for 5 years, and after 5 years they are up 500 a piece, and you sell them. So you made a profit of about 7,500, I think. But now, if you took the 5,000 euros and instead you bought half of Paradox Rift and half of Journey Together ETBs, let's say they cost like 70 euros a piece. This is not exact prices. This is just an example, by the way. But you have, first of all, you have 50 ETBs more because you paid way less for them. And if you wait 5 years, and let's say the Paradox Rift and the other set, Journey Together, will be 400 euros in those 5 years, in the same, even 100 euro less than the Ascended Heroes. If you sell them, let me check it out how much it is. If you sell them all for 400 euros, it will actually be 28,000 euros. And selling 25 Ascended Heroes ETB for 100 euro more, 500 euro, will only grant you back 12,500 euros. So you see, guys, and now before people in the comments be like, you can't predict the price of those products, so this basically makes no sense. Chill, Einstein. It is just an example to show you guys how much you can actually make more if the product which you buy initially costs way less, like 3 times less than the other product you buy. So this is basically the magic of it. Buying more of less expensive stuff instead of buying less of more expensive stuff. And this is probably, I can imagine, of course, Alpha Investments, Rudy did probably a lot of other stuff to get rich as well. But I think this was a main thing what he did, because you can always see he's always flexing the inventory in his videos. He has, I don't know, 10 storage houses filled with Pokemon products, but the products he has are mostly stuff which no one wanted to buy and which he completely bought out, has a gigantic position in them. I think Scarlet and Violet base set, which still nobody really wants, but he bought so much of it. I think he has like a $4 million position in it, and he has so much of it, and it is the same thing. If it only goes up, it was so cheap, he will not lose money. He will not lose money on it because it was so cheap already. And if it only like doubles in price from, I don't know, 60 euros an ETB to 120 euros an ETB in like 3 years, which is absolutely possible, that is 4 million more, you know? And that is not even the best part. The best part about this is you make way more money even if the price doesn't reach like 500 or 600 euros, and you will have it easier to sell it. Because even if I'm wrong here, and I don't know, Ascended Heroes goes to 2000 in ETB in 5 years, and the other stuff, Paradox Rift, only hits 300 euros. Still, a ETB for 300 euros is completely manageable and sells easy. Try selling an ETB for 2000 euros every day. That's not gonna happen. No one is opening an ETB for 2000 euros every day. No, not a normal person, at least. Like 300 euros is still a lot, but you would be surprised how many people open ETBs for 200, 300 euros a day. And that is the thing. You will have it way easier to sell those things when they are cheap to start with, and when they go up a little in price, instead of buying something which was already expensive and went up way more, which makes it only harder to sell. Because this is no like art collection. We're not talking about paintings like the Mona Lisa or something like that, which increase in value over years, and some rich guy at the end of the world will buy it. I mean, of course there are rich guys in Pokemon which will buy stuff, but the people you want to sell the cards to in the end are everyday normal people, just like me and you know. So there's nobody around the corner who will buy 2000 euros of ETBs every day. So you really got to think about it. And when you have a small budget, only 5,000 euros, which is obviously a lot of money, like I'm not saying that is not a big old bag of money, but compared to other people in this space, it is not quite a lot. Believe me, people have gigantic collections in their basement. Like not me. I have some collections stored away, but I'm not like 100,000 euros deep like a lot of people. But you get what I'm saying. You have much more playroom if you buy something which costs less. That also means you can buy more of it, and you can buy different sets instead of just buying 20 something of something expensive like Prismatic and Ascended Heroes. So am I saying you should not at all invest in those types of sets which are already expensive? No, but I'm still thinking, because of course there's stuff like base set which was already 2k at some point, and it still went up to 30k, which is absolutely crazy. So I'm thinking stuff like that, expensive stuff you can buy if you have the money for it. Buy 10 Ascended Heroes, buy some boxes of Ascended Hero ETBs, who cares? But if I can choose between buying 50 boxes of Paradox, Rift, and Journey Together ETBs, like I know I'm saying I'm talking about those two sets a lot, but this is not like a secret hint to buy them. I'm just talking about cheap sets which not had their peak price or they're going up already. So this is just an example. Don't go on TCG Player or Card Market and instantly buy Paradox, Rift, and Journey Together. Wait, this is just an example. But yeah, if I had to choose between them 10 boxes of Ascended Heroes and 50 boxes of the lower price sets, I would take the 50 boxes any day if they are like on the same price, the 10 cases of the expensive set and the 50 cases of the not of the less expensive set, of course. But yeah, you can still buy expensive stuff. That is no problem. I'm just trying to give you like a bit of understanding what is the difference between investing into stuff which is already expensive compared to investing into stuff which is not already expensive or hyped or overhyped, because I think there are just some very clear benefits to it. But if you want, you can also invest in base set. Like why not? Like buy yourself a base set. It will I'm pretty sure a base set will still double in price 5 years from now, you know. So but I wouldn't buy 10 base sets, because if they double in price from now in 5 years, you will have a lot of difficulty selling that. Like try selling a base set for like 100 to 200k in 5 years to someone like you can trust, and even then there's probably not someone who will take 10 base sets and at once and pay 2 million for it, you know. So that's basically my point. But yeah, but if you have 50k to invest in the Pokemon cards, of course you can buy a bit of all, because I think, in my opinion, there is really no bad Pokemon investment. Like if you are someone who really just wants to let it sit in the closet or in the garage for 5 years, 5 to let's be at 10 years, I think there is no bad Pokemon investing. Like hell, take 50k, put it into perfect order, put it away for 5 years. It will not ruin you, trust me. But of course, you gotta always think about, can I even afford putting 50k into an investment? But this is not about Pokemon only. This is about everything. But I think just investing into Pokemon is so good, because it will never lose all the value. It will always be a thing. AI is also no danger for Pokemon cards. There will be no digital Pokemon cards one day, because that shit is just not cool. So yeah, if you have a few bucks at the end of the month, save them away, buy some Pokemon stuff, put it in the closet, and you got yourself a good investment. And if you don't believe what I'm talking about right now, like, of course I didn't came unprepared without proof. Like probably people be saying right now, but there's no way a set which is out of print for 2 years and nobody wanted it before. There's just no way it will go up again, and that can't be true. But yes, it can be true, and I even have examples. Like for example, 151. I swear at the beginning, no one wanted 151. I mean, that is not the best example, but it is an example, you know, of something which was unwanted at the beginning, and after some time, people just went absolutely crazy for it. But I have even better examples. For example, Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith or Fusion Strike even. Crown Zenith and Fusion Strike are probably the best examples. Like this shit, nobody wanted this shit. Like there were some people who bought multiple 100,000s of Fusion Strike and Crown Zenith because they thought it was this shit, and nobody wanted it. Like I've seen videos, like supermarkets were stacked with those boxes, and just nobody would buy them. And the big investors who bought a lot of that, like panic sold them even underneath the market price. It was so bad. Like watch this, guys. We have it here, the Elite Trainer box of Fusion Strike. At the beginning, that shit was worth nothing, and then suddenly it goes out of print, and some time passes, and suddenly it was the coolest set ever. People went crazy for it, and it went higher and higher and higher, and it will still continue, keep going higher, because that is the good thing about it. When a set goes out of print and it has this kind of curve, not curse, it's a curve, you can be sure that it will not suddenly start crashing, because there is just like, if not someone reveals that he has 1 million boxes of Fusion Strike stored in his basement and starts selling them in like his own supermarket, which will probably never happen. It would be a gigantic troll move, but why would somebody do that? Because it would just crash. He would just crash the prices of his own boxes. But whatever, you get what I'm saying, guys. Like a curve like this stuff will rise. Stuff will rise, and that's the beauty about the investment, because you just have to have a little knowledge about this stuff. Like look at some graphs and look at how stuff performs. Like also look at the cards, so you know which Pokemon, which chase cards perform good in a Pokemon set. And it's the same with Crown Zenith. Nobody wanted that. It was everywhere stacked in the supermarkets, and suddenly after some time, it just went up and up and up. Like 8 months ago, it was around 180, and now it's already sitting at 350. And I don't know why Crown Zenith is just going up like crazy. I bought some collection boxes like 1 month ago, and they were like 60 euros, and now they are already 90 euros. So just to see how crazy this is. And another good thing about investing in those kind of sets is like it will not stay, like it will probably take a little less time than waiting, for example, for Ascended Heroes to go up, because Ascended Heroes is still in print. I think it will still be in print for like a year or something, or maybe even longer. And after that, we don't even know how many print waves there will come. And after that, there will still be like 2 to 3 years where the price probably doesn't move a lot. And so the good thing about finding a set which is low in price now and out of print is that the period of where the price is not moving is that it will probably take less time to reach highs compared to a set which is hyped at the moment, which is expensive, but will take a longer time to actually get to a higher price point, because the downtime of the set where it was very cheap, with something like Paradox Rift, for example, was already 2 years ago, because when the thing came out, it wasn't really in demand. And as you have seen, in like 2 years it costs nothing, and then suddenly it starts to rise up, and from there, because now it doesn't get printed anymore, it will probably not crash again. So I'm not saying go out there right now and buy Paradox Rift and Journey together. I mean, you could do it. It is still a good investment. It will go up. It already went up though. What you can do is you can find yourself an own Paradox Rift, or you can find yourself an own Fusion Strike and an own Crown Zenith. You know, as I said, I think sets like Perfect Order, Pitch Black, and Chaos Rising. Okay, Pitch Black is relatively new, but I think it will be at the same level like Perfect Order and Chaos Rising in like a few months. I don't want to make wild speculations, but it's definitely a mid set, a lot of people would say. So those are the kind of sets I am talking about. Like they might be cool at the beginning in the moment, but they will probably reach the same level like Fusion Strike and Crown Zenith, so that they will be like, if newer sets come out, they will be forgotten for a time. The demand will sink, and then you can really start picking up some stuff, because it will be probably close. Like I think the Chaos Rising ETB is like $80 or 80 euros right now anyway, so this would definitely not be a bad price to pick some up. Another tip is you can buy cases, because on unwanted sets people don't really mark up the big case price where 10 ETBs are in there. And if the set finally gets demanded, there are definitely people who will buy more to have a sealed case of a certain product. So that is just a little tip. Personally, I myself, I am not a big fan of charging up for selling Pokemon cases. In my opinion, it's just not that cool, to be honest, because it's basically the same thing. But I mean, people should do whatever they like. Not a big fan of that, but if you want to do it, you can do it. But yeah, again, I'm not saying go out there and buy those sets right now, but just think about what I said in this video and choose for yourself if it makes sense to you investing in stuff like Chaos Rising, Pitch Black, and Perfect Order, and if it potentially can be the next, who knows, Fusion Strike or Crown Zenith. So yeah, that was enough talking for today. We're pretty much finished here. I thank you everybody so much for watching. If you are still in this video right now, go down in the comments and comment hashtag CC. Just put a double C in the comments so I know people actually watch all the way through. That would be really cool. I would also appreciate it if you put the like on the video and press the subscribe button. I'm a relatively small YouTuber, so all the support really helps me out a lot and lets me keep going. And if not, still thank you so much for watching the video. I hope I see you in the next one, guys. Poke Eyes out.